Dima finished 10th in the world last season using Root Rider spam, but this trick he uses with the log launcher and 6 Clan Castle VALKs is insane, and you need to learn it right now. This is a pretty common meta style base. I haven't seen this exact version of it, but a pretty common meta style base, and Dima's going to completely pull it apart with Root Rider spam. So you see we use the super barbs in the army to tank for the log launcher, then we're going to use a freeze for the log launcher as well, because all we need is the log launcher to open this wall, and have a look, we get a rage spell out, and look at these VALKs go to work. They are so fast, they're much more effective than Yetis at this, and they clear out that entire compartment, in particular the invis tower. It also sets a really nice funnel and pulls the CC. Then we start the rest of our attack over here. Obviously, the Siege Barracks is very strong in the meta right now, but it doesn't really do much against these invis tower bases, so better to bring a log launcher, particularly for these outside invis towers like you see here, and then you can really pull the base apart. But don't worry, we've got another couple of replays using the exact same trick, so if you're convinced it won't work on every style of base, well, we'll prove you wrong in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Really nice Warden ability, completely crushing the core, and then we use the 1 overgrowth spell with this army on the Town Hall. Now, it might seem counterintuitive since we're already at the Town Hall, but we're not worried about the Town Hall damage. We're worried about the poison effect of the Town Hall taking down our troops. So we're fine to overgrowth the Town Hall. We're pretty confident we're going to 3-star it. He had so many troops up at the end of the Warden ability, and I mean, look at this. Completely wrecked. Obviously, the invis tower that went off on the left-hand side, it did cause a little bit of carnage, but when there's only 1 invis tower left up after the start, there's only so much carnage that can be caused. However, if there was 2, and you were just doing the standard Root Rider spam, really anything can happen, and you don't want that. So that's what I love about this log launcher. It just takes a bit of randomness out of the attack, and I mean, look at how many Root Riders are up. I think he's got more Root Riders up than he started with. Still got that Queen ability. He used the Queen on the flank. No need to send her into the core when you've got so many Root Riders crushing through the middle. Another relatively common meta base here, you see these double invis towers set up, and we're going to take advantage of that. So we use the skeleton spells and the super barbs to tank, but the super barbs also remove the buildings, which allows our log launcher to go further through. Yet again, we have to use 1 freeze, but that's okay. We just need the log launcher to open the wall. Also gets rid of the bomb tower, and we use both our freezes, so only got 2 freezes with this army comp, but I've invested both of them, and you can't tell me you didn't get the value. Like, that is ridiculous value from the entry there. We'll also get rid of that archer tower. And look, this is the best funnel in the history of Clash of Clans. I mean, what can the base do to stop it now? Yet again, we're using the Queen on the outside of the base. The Queen with the Invis Vial and Frozen Arrow. That is surprising. Was I the only one that was expecting the Healer Puppet? Especially when you're running the Queen on the outside. I mean, both of them are good options as long as you got that maxed Invis Vial. Healer Puppet or Frozen Arrow is a fine second equipment. Really good Warden ability there. Yet again, we're able to delay the Warden ability a bit longer because we're setting such a good funnel with the log launcher at the start of the attack. Now, this Town Hall looks like we should go for it, but no. Exact same thing. We know we're going to triple this base at this point. We're not scared about 1-starring. Let's overgrowth the Town Hall and deal with it at the very end. There's our last spell. We use the Rage spell to get through all those defensive heroes. Our Royal Champion's in amongst the mix. The Queen, well, she's doing her best. She's doing her best. She's not really needed in this attack strategy at all. I mean, it shows how strong this army is and how nice it is when you start off with the log launcher push. You don't need the Queen. She's been swagged. The Queen could have been replaced by 4 super barbs in this attack, honestly. Just clearing out the edge of the base. We're trying to use some super barbs to get rid of the archer tower on the left-hand side. I guess the Queen does get rid of the town hall. We can't really undervalue that, but we've still got the King and RC ability. There goes all the hogs. GG's there. Nicely done from Dima. Let's show one more replay of the double invis approach. Well, this is just a very, very unusual base. I cannot say I've ever seen anything like this, but if you're going to defend in High Legends League, you gotta run a weird base. So I respect Hofo here for trying something. It's not gonna work, but you gotta try. Log Launcher does a lot of damage just from the logs, and then the VALKs come out, and you can see why the VALKs are really good. Don't get me wrong, Yetis are really strong. And you still probably could do this with Yetis, but when you're going after the invis towers, the defenses there are naturally clumped because the invis range is only so much. So the Valks are just a smarter option in that respect. Worth noting, look at the army here. We're still hanging on to 3 Root Riders and 4 Valks. And what we're going to do, we're going to attack this base on both sides at once. So we've got the majority of our push on the left-hand side. I think it's 5 Root Riders and a bunch of Valks with our King. Then we got 3 Root Riders with our Royal Champion on the right-hand side. Now, the right-hand side obviously won't be as strong because it doesn't have the Warden ability. So you see we're using quite a few of our spells over there. So spells on the right side, Warden ability on the left side. And look at that, the RC is just a completely balanced hero, completely walks through that side of the base. Now we've got the Hog Puppet. We've used the Overgrowth spell on the core. Not really sure that was needed though. That Overgrowth spell feels kind of swagged, honestly. I think we did not need that one at all. This base, yeah, does not seem to do a lot to stop the Overgrowth, but when you pull apart the base so easily with the Log Launcher, it just opens up so many opportunities. There's our final Rage spell. We don't really mind if the Invis Tower goes off here. We've still got a King ability. We've still got a Queen ability. We've still got a lot of Root Riders up. There goes the King ability, and you know what he's great at? Clearing out congested compartments. He walks through it easily, finishes with a swing of that sexy axe. I got one more replay to show you guys of just general Root Rider attacks. This base is super annoying. You're going to see how Dima pulls it apart. This is what I kind of call the pro way of using Root Rider spam, where you use generally your King and sometimes your Queen with a jump spell to clear out a funnel for your Root Rider. So look, sends the Kings in here, uses the Super Barbs for it. And now, as he's finishing up that funnel, we can spam in our Root Riders. And we're going to surprisingly be able to keep the King alive here because he's going to meet up with the Root Riders. But yeah, this is the more pro approach. You'll see the pros, not as much in Legends League, but definitely in Clan Wars, will use the jump spell with the King to try and clear out a huge chunk of base. Now, surprisingly, we're using the Log Launcher in this attack. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but I'm guessing the idea is he knows his troops are not going to path into the core of the base. So he's going to use the Log Launcher, and look at this. He leaves the Town Hall visible so that the Valks can go in and get rid of just the Town Hall here with nothing else. And look at that. It opened it up all nicely. Now, I'm sure he didn't want his Queen walking in the core. He wanted all of his troops to just do a lap of the base like they are and avoid the Town Hall poison entirely. But that's a really cool way of using, yet again, the Log Launcher in a creative way. You don't really need the Siege Barracks. Root Riders are so strong, you don't need the extra troops. But if you can use the Log Launcher to make your Root Rider pathing easier, then why not? Why not, honestly? And this was a really cool attack. These isolated cores or double invis bases are definitely vulnerable to the Log Launcher. So hopefully, if you are running Root Rider spam, these new approaches I showed you today help you out. If they didn't, I'm sorry. And let me know down in the comments, if you use Root Rider spam, do you use the Siege Barracks every attack? Do you use the Log Launcher some of the time? Do you use the Blimp if you're feeling a little bit fun? Let me know down in the comments below. And before we go, if you'd like to get some top Legends League bases, make sure you go to the video we'll link on the left where we showcase Dima's Legends League base, we showcase Sicario's Legends League base, he finished 8th in the world, and Stars, who finished 37th.